If your goals are just coping mechanisms dressed up in productivity, then it's time to pause. We think that striving makes us powerful, but sometimes it's a clever way to avoid being with ourselves. Hey, beautiful human, it's me, Rebecca Wiener McGregor, and welcome to another episode of Effective Immediately, the show where we talk mindset, abundance, leadership, and the subconscious shifts that will make it all a reality for you. This is not a mindset issue, okay? This is a nervous system survival pattern, and you can heal it. So this episode today is a powerful reminder for the high-achieving woman who has learned how to look calm on the outside, but on the inside, she's still bracing, she's still holding things together. She's still carrying this secret belief that maybe she's too much, or maybe she's just got dreams that are just too big. Like, why can't she just be grateful for what she already has? But what if I told you the problem isn't that you're too much? It's that your nervous system hasn't been trained, hasn't been shown how to hold this much. One of my clients a very long time ago said, nobody in my family is successful. I don't know how to be successful. I don't know how to hold all this stuff that I want. I don't know how to let my dreams come true. I don't know how to let myself receive my big vision. So what was she doing instead? She was making herself very busy, doing things that weren't as important to her as her big vision. She was letting herself be hired off for projects on the side. She let herself step away from her own business to consult on other people's businesses. She didn't know that it was her nervous system stopping her. She just kept blaming herself that she wasn't further along. She was just upset with herself over and over that she wasn't further along than she was, even though she was letting herself be caught up in all these other things. Okay, so if this has ever been you, this is your opportunity to take a pause. We are exploring with curiosity. We are not judging ourselves. We are acknowledging. We are looking for what serves us. We're releasing what doesn't, okay? All right, nice big breath here. Let's talk about regulating your nervous system. This does not mean shrinking. This does not mean shrinking your dreams, shrinking your vision. It doesn't mean that if you feel safe in your body and you heal this stuff, this doesn't mean that you will become complacent. It doesn't mean that you're going to forget about your big vision. It's going to give you so much energy to use toward moving in that direction. I had a client tell me, Rebecca, if I heal too much, what if I lose my passion for my creativity? What if I don't care about my business as much because I become too relaxed? What if I become complacent and it messes with my creativity? That was a different client. So I have lots of experience working with very high achieving women who have stopped themselves from their next level and also stopped themselves from healing so they could get to their next level. And we worked it all out. Okay, so let's just name this common myth, right? This myth of calming down. There is this deeply embedded belief, especially among high-achieving women and leaders, who think that in order to feel peace, they have to dial everything back. They have to shrink their vision. They have to reduce their desires. They have to scale back their energy so they can manage their life, right? This is not peace. This is survival disguised as balance. I'm going to say that again because this is such an important concept. This is survival disguised as balance. I know when I say these things, when they come through, it stings a little bit. Especially if you've done it, you are doing it, you know someone who is, and you love them so much, and you want to see them shine. You want to see yourself have your big vision. It stings when the truth comes, right? But this is where we get to be in curiosity about how this can shift for us. Okay, nice big breath here. The real issue here is nervous system overload, okay? When you're dysregulated, when your nervous system is always bracing for that next hit, you're holding on to everyone else's emotions, you're wired for overgiving, your empathy is wide open for the taking, then yes, everything does feel like it's too much. But that doesn't mean you need to want less. This is not the time for dialing back what your desires are, okay? This isn't the time for the old thing that I would do to myself, which was, gosh, can't you just be happy with what you have? I mean, haven't you achieved enough? Because there's a part of me that kind of wishes I didn't have that entrepreneur brain at times, because there's always something pulling me forward. And I know that it's growth. I know that it's my higher self and my higher power pulling me forward, because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for anything but movement. I'm not here for anything other than growth. I'm not here for anything other than growth until my last breath. Right? There are some of us that are just wired this way, and that's okay. Not that there's anything wrong with us, not that there's anything wrong with the other way, but some of us are just wired this way. We're wired to move people. We're wired to grow ourselves. We're wired to build communities. We're wired to lead movements. And so many times, if our nervous system is stuck, it's bracing, it's panicking, it's holding on to anger, it's holding on to rage, it's holding on to judgment, it will stop us from achieving the things, having the things, growing the things that we want most in life. And that's not out of punishment. This is not a punishment. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to look at the root and then to expand your ability to have what it is that you want. I know this is there's 17 topics within this topic, but we're going to get through this together, okay? All right. Here's what regulating your nervous system actually creates, okay? Now, I want to address this because very often people will come to me saying they have done everything. They have done the mindset work, they've done the coaching, they've done therapy, they've done all these things, and they can't get their nervous system to calm down for any length of time. It seems to always switch back into survival mode. We can go to the root and heal the thing that keeps switching you into survival mode. It is a spectacularly beautiful thing when it happens, and it can happen swiftly. Not years of sessions. It happens very, very quickly. Okay, but I want to come back to what regulation actually creates. Not just the reset, but you not being in survival mode anymore. You being able to expand your capacity. You get to make clear decisions without second guessing. Where your decisions are based on your standards. They're not based on swirling loops of anxiety asking you all the negative what ifs, right? You actually get to step into the positive what ifs. And what if this happened? And what if this happened? And it was all the positive stuff. But you make your decisions based on your standards and you don't second guess them. It's not to say you won't have a moment where you're like, should I have gone the other direction? Should I have taken trail A or trail B? Yeah, you might have a moment like that, but it won't be a constant, okay? And you trust yourself, and that trust leads to bold action. All right, you stop attracting chaos to match your internal state. Now, this is huge. You ever wonder why everybody's in chaos around you? And you feel chaotic yourself? And you seem to attract these same kind of people into your life, whether it's a new relationship or maybe a customer or a client, but they seem to have the same energy of chaos around them. Something is inviting situation to match the stress levels that you have. Yes, you are unconsciously attracting people to match your energy, because we know the subconscious mind doesn't care about your happiness or your joy, right? It cares about similarity, it cares about predictability, and what better way to keep you stuck in chaos, internal chaos, than to invite people into your life that bring that same energy. I know, holy smokes, right? This is a whole topic all by itself. This is related to emotional friendship relationships, romantic relationships, business relationships, all of it. And all of that's related to your nervous system, your subconscious beliefs, and your standards. And I help with all of that. Okay. The next thing is that when you shift and move the chaos out, people will be responding to you differently. They won't know what's happening. It might be a conscious thing after a while, but they will not know that you have flipped the script. You will feel differently to them, and you will feel a difference in them because they are responding to you in a different way. I know. It's so subtle, but it makes the biggest shifts when you recognize that when you calm your body down, that opportunities that feel right and good to you come into your life. It's huge. They're unexpected. They are joyful and surprising, but not shocking, right? Because all of a sudden, when you feel calm in your body, when you don't feel like you are running and running and running and chasing and fighting for everything with this internal chaos, then the calm things show up too. That right person for your next project, that right person for your romantic partner. Like I said, this is like a million podcasts in one today. Okay. When you shift out of that nervous system chaos and you get into regulation, it invites expansion. And expansion meaning your capacity to receive without guilt. Like, here I am, God, here I am, universe. Bring the good stuff to me. Let me feel the good stuff right now. This one is big because when you are regulated, you don't just desire overflow. You feel safe having it. We've heard those stories, and this is the extreme stuff, right? But we've all heard those stories where people really wanted to win the lottery and they won the lottery and it caused a lot of calamity in their lives. It caused a lot of problems and issues in their lives where everything fell apart, right? Like, I feel like this is from a movie or something. Someone wins like $1 million and then they accidentally cause an accident with a great big piece of art that costs that much to fix or repair or whatever, right? They can't hold it. Your body and your subconscious mind, which is your body is expressing all of your emotions and holding all of the actions of your subconscious mind, all of the vibrations and the emotions of your subconscious mind, has to be regulated to receive in the greater way that you want to receive if you're not finding that in your life. You get to feel safe having that big win and keeping it. You get to feel safe having amazing things come into your life and loving it and feeling worthy of it and feeling grateful and excited and asking for more. You get to feel safe being seen. You get to feel safe making more money. You get to feel safe letting everything be easier. For some reason, there is not this big news bulletin that goes out every day that says, you don't get extra points for suffering. You don't get extra points when things are hard. You don't get extra points when you play the victim. I know that's hard to hear sometimes, especially when we're stuck in our loops of, well, I'm doing all this for everybody and nobody's doing for me. And I give, and I don't receive and I don't receive. Like we get in those moments, right? Because there's so much output, because that makes us feel safe, because receiving doesn't feel as safe. You get to feel safe with all of this. And most importantly, you get to stop trying to earn peace by doing more, just like what I was saying, fixing more, controlling more, and then you realize, peace is the starting point, not a reward for burnout. Happiness gets to be a foundation. Calm confidence gets to be the foundation on which you build the rest of your life, or build the rest of your, moving forward, the rest of your vision. So this is what I want you to consider, okay? A new possibility. What if nothing about your vision is too big? What if it's just waiting for you to take the actions to feel the way that you need to feel so you can receive it? What if healing is part of your journey? For most of us it is. So we can expand, so we can receive. So nothing about your vision is too big. And what if the only thing that's missing is the safety to match your external ambition? Here's this big truth that's right here, right? Big goals do not require more stress. Big goals do not require more stress. They require more stability inside of you. I know, holy smokes, right? That means you're not chasing. That means you're not pushing. Maybe even not striving, especially in that unhealthy way that you used to. When you regulate your nervous system, and I mean deep regulation, not just the reset that you get from doing your breath work or your sound lounge or whatever it is that you're doing. Those things are all beautiful and important and special too. I'm not saying they're not. But when you do the deep work to heal the root cause of the dysregulation of your nervous system, healing the subconscious patterns, healing the trauma that caused the patterns, then you heal, when you heal those subconscious patterns that are running 95% of your life, you don't just feel better. I mean, just imagine that for a moment. These patterns are running 95% of your life. And what happens when those patterns are moving in the direction that you want to? You lead better, you receive more, you rise to the occasion. You're resilient. You have your moments in life, because life is messy and up and down, and we don't know what's going to happen next. But you get to rise to the occasion. Not from exhaustion, not from performance, but from deep, embodied clarity and peace. And along with those things comes deep trust in yourself, deep trust in your vision, deep trust in your mission, deep trust in the steps that you have that you know that you need to take to get there. And trusting that you can keep moving forward and knowing, believing that the thing that you want, the vision that you hold, will be there as you take those steps. No more second guessing, no more fighting, just being you. Not too big, not too much, but just right. You're just right. You're not too big, you're not too much. Your vision isn't too big, it's not too much. It's just right. It's just for you, and it's yours. All right, are you ready for your effective immediately shift that you can make right now? Decide right now. You don't have to calm your dreams to feel calm. You simply need to become the version of you that can hold them. So I want you to practice being the version of you who can hold them with peace, with presence, and with power. Okay? This shift changes everything. This is what happens when you regulate at the root. Okay, so somewhere around this, you'll see a spot where you can DM me about working together. If this resonates with you, if you're ready to move forward. And I don't mean like everything's in a line, everything in your life is perfect. That's not ready. That's avoiding readiness. You don't have to have everything perfect. You get to take the step now, right where you are. That's where we start, from right where you are. All right. Breathe in, practicing being that part of you, that version of you with peace, with presence, with power. You're not going to become less. You're going to become more of who you are, but with full access to your desires, your joy, and your next level. Yeah, breathe that in. Everything that comes with peace is exactly what you desire. Okay. Thank you for being with me today. I'm glad you're here. Take really good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.